Going on YouTube. You might be wondering, why is this amateur footage in the background? Well, I'm about to do something I don't know if anybody on YouTube has done before on any boxing platform. A subscriber of mine had an amateur fight that did not go his way. So he wanted me to break down his fight, which I'm going to do right here. We're going to stop, pause, move forward. I'm going to move the mouse over to show corrections that could be done in this fight. It, once again, did not go his way. And I'm going to try to break this down to help him out in the future if he does decide to continue on amateur boxing. Before I begin, this video is not to be critical of him because it takes a lot of courage, a lot of guts to actually get in there and have a fight. Whether it be amateur, professional, it does not matter. It takes a lot of balls to go in there. So although this is probably one of his first fights, this is not for people to troll him. Because if you've never been in there, if you've never done amateurs, then you don't have a leg to stand on. No matter how good or how bad he looks that much better than you because you've never been in there. So this isn't for trolling. When I do my critiques, this isn't to make him feel bad. As I've already told him, this is simply here to learn, to help, and hopefully I can do that by video footage without being face-to-face as I believe he is in the UK. Now, with that being said, before we get into anything, I want to say this is the nicest amateur setup I have ever seen. Like, this looks like some ballroom, high class, we're going to put $50,000 down on each fighter type amateur fighting. But let's get into this. My subscriber is wearing the red. His name is Richard. You can see it up top. He fought a guy named Tommy in the blue who's much shorter than him. I believe my sub said he was 6'3". The guy he was fighting was 5'9", so an inch shorter than me. With that being said, we're going to get into it as they touch gloves, and I'm going to be stopping, and I have no idea how long this video is going to go on for, so we just going to break it down. Here we go. So they touch gloves. So right off the bat, we'll go back a little on the opening jabs, okay? So I want to show this to him. So when they come here, so again, this comes down to, and I'm going to blow myself up, I'm going to be becoming big, small throughout the duration of this. It's not letting me go any bigger. All right, so when he comes out, he's standing traditional, okay? So he's a traditional style fighter. So you see him circle around, right? Now his jab is thrown from here. There's no recoil, no body, no nothing. It's a pure arm punch from here with his arm fully extended. Again, let me lower my webcam some because the feet are more important than the upper body. Hopefully that gives more. Yep, feet. So again, he's already here and it's hard to tell where his feet are placed because the padding from the corner is in the way. But his knees already look to be here. So he's very forward already with his lean. And when you throw the jab, you don't really want to lean into it as much. Now his knee positioning is good as he is angled towards the fighter. But like I said, he's here. It's almost like he's doing like this, which is a lackluster punch, especially against a shorter guy because that gives him time to get in. And when you do the double from there, you don't have anything to guard if he slips. Now, we're going to continue the video after that. So what he should have done, once they touch gloves, bring his hands here. He should have stepped back and step back after touching the gloves to get that distance because he's taller, and then snapped it. And then if he snapped it, depending on what his opponent does, if his opponent goes backwards, you make a second move forward, boom. If your opponent gets hit and keeps coming forward, you turn. So when you land the jab, you're coming here. You're trying to push him to your power. Because when you're here, he should be moving like this. So he's walking right into your power so you can come straight down the line. That's the first mistake I see, that he was just lackluster with the jab. Now let's bring me down. Go back into this. See how he doesn't bring his guard back? Okay, so a little bit to unfold, so let's go back a little bit. Guy is already showing that he wants to go underneath the jab. That's, as I said, if he would have pulled his hands back, he could have stepped back, swung. It already looks like he is turning, which is good. Now you see how the guy comes forward like this, hand down. Had he not had his hand here, all right, Richard, had your hand, and this is what I'm talking about positioning. So because your hand was here, when he came like this, you couldn't throw back because you're blocking your own punch. So the minute he put his hand down to go like this, that was your perfect opportunity to hit him with the straight and circle out. Perfect opportunity right there. So let me bring this down. This is going to be difficult because, so right here, let's go slow. So if you look, Richard, right here, you're already in between his guard. Had your hand not been extended and it was here, you could have slipped up with your elbow because you always want to come back to this posture. And then if you look, his head was right here exposed to that straight right. All you had to do was twist your hips. Now, I want you to look at your body positioning too, Richard. Right here, I know the pad's blocking a lot, but your right foot is out of position to really throw power. That leg, it's almost like I was saying about the Andy Ruiz-Joshua fight. Right now, even though you're in between his guard, you're very squared to him. So you're like this. Like I said, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to have to keep doing this because this is just a teaching for Richard. This might be a 40-minute video for a 4-minute fight. Shit. That's okay. So you're like this right now, okay? So you can't fire at him because your arm's here. His hand is over your head. And even if this hand was here, you can't really hit him because your leg's already square. So you're like this. There's no power. Had you have pulled that leg here to where now it would have been hidden by the corner, and you're using your lead foot. So your jab hand, lead foot, trying to get in camera so you can see. So this toe, now you're going to be, you throw straight down the pipe to hit him with the straight because he's very exposed to it. And then all you would do after you connect, bring that hand back, use this toe, spin around. That's it. That gets you out of the corner. But when you're here, you can't spin because you're having to swing your whole leg around behind you. Whereas if you had that proper footing from the beginning, you could have just boom. And you're still in position to throw a punch back or jab and get the hell out to get back to center of ring. So that was the opening he gave you from the beginning. That, of course, and I want to say this real fast before we continue, even though we're already 8 minutes in. It's very easy for me or anybody else to say, oh, he should have done this, you should have done that, when you're not being the one punched at. Things look different when you have somebody attacking you than they do from the outside, showing errors in the plan. But the point is for you to absorb what I'm saying, look at what happened, remember in your mind the scenario, replay it from the inside how you saw it, and then you devise how you correct what you did wrong by knowing how to correct it. So I'm going to bring myself down some more. And let's go. So this guy is swinging at you very sloppy. He's winging at you like this, right? And you actually blocked or parried one of his punches because you were throwing sloppy back with him. At this point, you got to stay tight in your guard, especially against a shorter fighter. And when he's coming at you like that, instead of you completely backing out like you did, him coming like this, and you kind of swung back like that with your hands low, because you can see right here, pointed, that your hands never reset to your chin. They're always below your shoulders. So if you look at how his body is positioned right now, had you have caught him closer over here, you could have, like I said, real short. As he comes like this, wild, instead of you throwing wild and parrying, you could have stepped in and boom, shot the uppercut down the middle. But when you keep your hands low, you take away from certain arsenal punches that you can throw, especially when being pressed so fast. Now, you clinched on him, which is good. And it was effective because you obviously got the clinch right here. But as a taller man, you should never try to clinch underneath the shorter man. So you come underneath him like you're going to tackle him. The problem with that is if you get in there with a skilled fighter, when you come down like that, they can eat your head with a hook or an uppercut because you're exposing yourself without guard. If you're going to do it, you need to come over the top of your opponent and not below him, because you're opening up. You never, as a tall fighter, you never want to get to the level of a shorter fighter. That's the biggest mistake you can make, is dropping your head to his head level, because now you're giving up your height advantage. Sorry for all the drinking, y'all. My throat's very dry. I've been sick. So let's continue. Referee's telling you don't come forward with your head. Now here, again, your hands are always below. You're always below. You came forward and you kind of just lackluster with the jab. You've got to make sure that when you're throwing a jab, it's pop, 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 pop. You're popping. So that's why I said that when you jab, you need to practice on just stomping, stomping, stomping. So you're always popping it back and not lackluster coming forward, because what ended up happening was, because it was a slow punch, he came with a counter overhand of his own as he's leaning out the way. So he's throwing an overhand left underneath your jab. Well, his head's going under your jab and over the top of your shoulder, he's coming with the counter. That's why you got caught by it, because again, you're stepping into it instead of popping it. All right, let's go. So right there, when he came back with attack, you close your eyes and look down. This is the number one thing too when it comes to fighting. Closing your eyes. A lot of people do it, and it's the hardest fucking thing to get over, because your natural reaction is, when something comes to your eye, you want to blink. Blink, 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 blink. It's natural. People throw dirt at your eyes, you blink. Somebody blows at your eye, you blink. Anything that happens, you blink. A bright flash, you blink. The problem is, when you blink, you're blinded. So because you close your eyes for just a split second, he's on top of you now. You didn't have the opportunity to get away from him by closing your eyes. So when you spar, you need to get somebody who's not going to hurt you, who's not going to beat you up. And you just need to sit in the corner, sit on the ropes, and let them unload soft punches on you towards your face. And the point of this is, all you're trying to do is, while you're blocking, is to keep your eyes open. If you close your eyes, tell them stop, let them back up, get your composure, reset, tell them to come forward, keep your eyes open, try to block, parry, 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 block. And the minute you close your eyes, tell them stop, back up, and you train yourself so that when a punch comes, your eyes don't shut. So that's something you can work on too. So again, you're really getting out of your footing position by here. You're just wide guard out, shoulders rolled forward, back tilted, and you're looking to push them away from you because of the assault that's coming at you. Whereas you should have been tighter while going. Just stay. The main thing from this is stay in your guard. I'm not going to keep stopping it every time you get out of your guard. But right here, I believe, I can't see, but if your eyes were open, you would see that he cocked back this punch. Let's see what you do. Yeah, your eyes are closed, and I don't know how good it's coming up on y'all's end, but on my end, I can see right now the eyes were closed as you're tilting. So again, you got to keep your eyes open. Big thing, keep your eyes open. That's why you just caught that left hook. Now, again, you're pushing your punches. So when you threw the straight, you're kind of walking into it. You don't want to move your feet as much. You don't want to come towards the smaller guy. So what you do is you just bow. You're just twisting. You're not stepping forward because your feet. I got to blow myself up again. Your feet are doing this. When you're throwing, you're straight, you're doing this. It's almost like you're sliding your back foot as you're stepping forward, you're sliding. You've got no power there. It's just here. You don't have to go towards the opponent, especially if they're shorter, to throw the straight. You bow and then look and move. As a taller man against a shorter man, every time you get a clean punch on them, you should be moving. And the minute you see that short guy's head do this and he looks hurt, then you come forward, bow, bow. Watch what happens. If he's still stunned, bow, bow. But never come forward like that and give up your space. Now this ring is teeny as hell. So disadvantage to you in that. See how you're covered, your eyes are closed. Good left hook. Your eyes were closed again. You're like, again, this right here comes down to technique. Neither person is very good technically. This is amateurs. Losses and amateurs don't even matter. They're just for learning anyways. That's why when you go pro, your amateur record gets deleted. But again, you're closing your eyes and now you're starting to wing with them because you're feeling pressure of him coming on you. Keep the eyes open. Get back to your guard and stop straightening your arm before you throw the punches. You got to have it from here. You can't have it already out. You got to cock it and throw. Well, not cock back, but it needs to be recoiled so you can hit it out. Boom, recoil. Stay in recoil. Boom, recoil. That's what I mean by staying in recoil. So again, with that jab, you came here, you stepped with the jab, he goes under you, and you kept coming forward because you were stepping. Whereas if you would have hit him with a boom, just step and not step into the punch, that's what I'm seeing. I don't even need to elaborate more. Your main issue is that you keep stepping into your punches. When you throw your punches, stepping into it, meaning you're actually moving into it, is what you don't want to do. Now I know it might be confusing because I said with the jab, you're hump. But if you look at what I'm talking about, and I really hope this is helping you because we're 17 minutes and not even a minute into the video. So I don't want you to get confused by when people hear me say you step and jab. That's not what I mean by stepping into your punch. This is a step jab. Boom, boom, right? Stepping and jabbing. Notice how my back leg doesn't move. It's still here. So I can come here, come back, push away, or I can push forward. Your toes is what's making you move. You're here, right? So what I mean by stepping is you're doing this. Your whole body, your back foot is moving you forward. So therefore, there's no power into it because you're just pushing yourself. So even when you land the punch, you're pushing into it. You don't need to move this back leg when you jab. It's just boom. So you can always reset, come back, boom, reset, boom, reset. Now, if you're trying to get away, then it's just here. But if you look, if I'm here, right, and I'm pivoting, now my lead foot is still locked and I'm sliding around. I'm not actually stepping like I'm walking. You are almost doing like a walk into your punches. So you're losing the majority of your power, and like it said again, when you step into the shorter guy, you're giving up your range, you're giving up your height, which you don't want to do. So these are little things that you can practice on your own about just getting into your stance, hit back, 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 hit back. That's what I mean by that. All right, let's continue. So he's throwing some dirty shots too, because right there he kind of was holding your head and hit you with an uppercut. The referee's watching and not calling it, but it's amateurs. What do you expect? Again, it looked like your eyes. So right here, I don't know how well it shows up because it's kind of pixelated. Your eyes are closed again. You got to keep your eyes open. Referee's going to get the count because it's amateurs. So another thing for people just watching this, in amateurs, you don't have to get knocked down to have a standing 8 count done to you. In amateurs, if you're getting hit by a bunch of unanswered punches, they'll do a standing 8 count whether you're hurt or not. See, you were right there. So not only are you stepping with your punches, but you're questioning. Never question your punch. When you box somebody, if you're going to throw a punch, you need to throw the punch. So right there, you kind of like, do I want to hit him? Don't I want to hit him? So therefore, he's not on you real close because of that lackluster effort you put into it. If you're going to throw a punch, whether in your mind you know it's going to miss or not, you need to throw a real punch. Because now what that does is it psychologically has the other guy concerned about a real punch with real speed coming at them. So they're not as quick to leap in because the minute you throw that real punch is back. So now they're a little hesitant stepping in mentally, but it also doesn't put you out of position to where once you got lackluster and it's coming back, now he's charging you. Because he knows all he's got to do is stay away from your right side. Because if you look at him, he's more positioned to your left. Then he can't be hit. So it's just an open door for somebody to charge in on you. Caught him. Uppercut was a good block. Again, I really, Richard, I don't think the fact that you lost this fight and all of that, obviously you could take his punches. Obviously they're not hitting you. They haven't knocked you down. The main thing is the way you're throwing your punches is what's killing you. It's the arms are always relaxed when you're throwing. They're never recoiled coming from your start position. They're always partially out, which is sapping all your power. And because it's such a slower punch with your arms here to get back, and at times you're not even pulling them back up to your guard, because the majority of this fight, your hands below your elbows. I mean, below your elbows. Below your shoulders and not up to your chin. He's just coming in with ease because there's no worry of you firing anything back. Here's another thing. In this fight, when he's touching your head like this and just holding your head, you're longer than him. If he can touch you, you can hit him. So while he was here touching you with his jab hand, you should have been coming underneath and just pisting his head. Bow, bow. Hit him, he'll back off. Hit him, he'll back off. Hit him, he'll back off. Just another thing to think of if it happens again. Your jab as far as like putting that front foot forward right there, but you're still, like I said, we could go through this whole video. I'm gonna let the whole video play out and I'm not gonna keep stopping and pausing because the mistakes that you are making are like a repetitive muscle memory mistake. You keep having your arm out. It is never here coming from the punch. So a majority of your power is from here and it's turning into the punch. It's turning back, turning in. You're already kind of turned, so there's no pop. It's like if you were to have a whip, right? The power is in the snapback. It's not in the motion here. So when your arm's here, there's no pop you can really do like you can coming from a full turn twist back. You can't really twist into it. You only have like a quarter twist when you're throwing your punch, so it's just a pure arm punch without any power being put behind it. Again, when you're blocking, you're coming lower than him. Although he's not skilled enough to catch you with that, I'm just telling you for future fights, you gotta go over the opponent, parries, whatever, but don't duck below when you're taller because you're giving up too much real estate to your height. Got trade jabs, trade jabs. And your footwork, like I said, you really got to work on your footwork because as I brought up earlier, and I'm seeing it more and more, your balance foot, your power foot, your back leg is always trailing your front leg. You're always having to move your hip to move your body. Your leg is constantly having to do this to move because you're always here. So you're having to bring your leg around. You shouldn't have to bring your leg around. It should just be a pivot. So if you look what I'm talking about, when I'm pivoting, there's nothing, like I'm not even moving out of the position I'm in, I'm just here. So my foot, everything stays in line. I'm always in position to fight. I'm always here. What you're doing is you're here and you can't even pivot. If you see my foot, I go from the heel to the ball of my foot because I'm trying to regain balance. So you're getting yourself out of position, out of balance, no power to throw back, and it's just a long step around. You don't ever want to be stepping. That's why I said that when you get your position and you're here, you should be able to put your foot like this. So if you had on shoes, where the shoe, on the side of the shoe where it curves in, that's where your heel should be there. And then you just come forward to where you're naturally strongest. All right, continuing. See, again, you put your arm out, but you no authority on your punching. You're constantly stepping, so... Oh, crap. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's go back just a little. I want to show this. So, right here, your feet are constantly going from traditional to southpaw. Traditional, southpaw. See how your feet are stepping? You're not pivoting. This back leg should never become your front leg. And you constantly are stepping. You're walking instead of moving. So I'll do a little bit of footwork in the background, although I'm injured and I can't move like I normally would. I'll explain. Again, you do a punch, just looking away. Keep your eye on the target, keep your eyes open. Your eyes are closed right there, so you got hit with the overhand right. It's like a little short overhand hook right. Dude was looking at the clock because he was tired. Again, you're putting your head down too low, not looking, turning your head, closing your eyes. Got hit by the uppercut because you tried to go down, like I was telling you. Keep trying to go down to his level, and he finally hit you with an uppercut or bending in the waist.
Round 3.
All right, here we go. Again. See how that back leg keeps stepping, you're out of position, off balance, referee's going to call the fight. That's what it is that he's doing, yeah. In the fight. So, like I said, we'll just leave this big. We'll do this. There we go. Like I said, your biggest issue is you never have your guard up. You're closing your eyes. You're stepping with your punches, so you're constantly going from traditional to southpaw, back to traditional. So that's really messing up your power. When you throw punches, you're not putting a lot of authority on it. So you're here, you're like, So your arms are already out. So you're not having a lot of power. Then when you're turning, you're stepping, or you're actually just moving like you're walking. And that's not how you box. So like I said, with your feet, if you're moving forward, this leg should almost be pushing you to where when you want to stop, you're catching it. Both feet are always on the ground. When you walk, you kind of have a moment, a hair of a second where both legs can be up. When you run, both feet are off the ground. In boxing, you always want to have a foot planted. So when you're going forward, my back leg is pushing me. Trying to show this the best I can without you being here. So I'm being pushed. And then if I'm going back, I'm here. I'm pushing off my toes. But I'm always got a foot planted. When I'm pushing back, it's sliding. When I'm pushing forward, it's sliding. Here, here. So if I'm here and I have to go, oh shit, I can. So again, you need to start bouncing, moving, and practice that instead of being like, oh, see the difference? It takes too long to turn like this, whereas it's just there. It's just boom, boom, boom. That's all it is. And then you can move. But this leg should never come in front. It should always be back. No matter where you move, it should be back. It should be here. You got to practice on little stuff like that. Like I said, I can't really move because I'm hurt, but that's the best demonstration I can show you. You showed a lot of heart. You took your hits. You never got knocked down. I know you said you just figured it wasn't for you, but all in all, you didn't do that bad. I mean, you're always going to have people hypercritical of you. You got in there, you fought, you didn't give up, you kept going, you never got knocked down. The main thing is you got to tighten up your guard, tighten up your punches, and keep your eyes open. Those are the main, and work on your footwork. Those are the main things. I think you could be decent. You just have to work on that. I hope this helped. If it didn't and you need me to do something different, let me know. To the people who watch this, let me know what y'all think, because this is my first time I'm drawing over somebody with the mouse and trying to show in the background what they should be doing, stopping and going. So I know this was only a 5-minute long video, and here we are 33 minutes in, but you know, with these, it's going to take a little bit longer to try to help. And Richard, let me know if this helped. If it didn't and you need me to do something different, let me know. Thank y'all for watching. Also, I'm going to say this at the end of every video. I will be going live Saturday, December the 7th for the AJ fight. I will be doing a live commentary for the whole venue. I will bring in my stream an hour before the main card goes live. So I will be starting my live an hour before. So for all the LDBC people who want to come over here and debate with me in my comment section, this is your opportunity. And also, I've got another sub who wanted me to break down a fighter from their area that they like, that they're saying is a prospect. So I'm going to do that, but it's a little hard as there's not a lot of footage on him. So a lot of the fights are 3 to 2 years old. He might have improved since. So it's a little hard with that one, as he doesn't have current fights up that I can watch, and I haven't been to any of his fights live as he doesn't live near me. Also, I'm sorry that I didn't get up with another video last night. Shit happened, it got late, I couldn't get back on. Sorry about that, because I said I was going to post another one. But let me stop this super long, 35-minute long video and say, I hope this really helped you, Richard. And I saw a lot of brass and balls for staying in there and taking the punches even when it wasn't going your way. And that's really what boxing comes down to, heart. If you've got the heart to take the punches, then you should be able to have the heart to stay in there, to hone in your skills. And then when you are able to return fire skillfully, tactfully, you've already got the heart and the courage of a lion to be able to bang. So I wouldn't say that off of that, give up. I think you made a good account of yourself, especially for an amateur fight. It's just tighten up them skills that I showed you. And if you have any more questions, just let me know. Thank y'all again for watching.